First of all, are you all going to vote? I think that all these ultra right-wing experts and all these committees with their hidden contributors may be in for a big surprise on Election Day if you all vote. Now, I want to first thank my great friend, Congressman Kendrick Meek, for giving me a reason to come back to Orlando. I am glad to be here, and I'm glad to be on the UCF campus. I want to thank the other representatives here. Representative Corinne Brown, where are you? There she is. Thank you. Representative Alan Grayson is here. And there he is. I want you all to support him. Our candidate for Congress, Supervisor of Elections, Lori Edwards. Raise your hand, Lori. Where are you? You're here. She's here somewhere with a lot of her supporters. If you live in their districts, I want you to support them. And Mayor Buddy Dyer, thanks for letting me come back to town and for your long friendship. Look, I want to just talk to you a little bit about this election in a way that most people don't. I'm kind of been out of shape about the nature of the way the election has happened. There's so much name calling and so many attacks, and the people on the far right they're talking about a country and describing issues and making claims that I don't recognize. We get all these people saying, don't bother me with the facts. I got my mind made up. I know what's right. In this environment where people are angry and anxiety-ridden, what you have in every state, I have done more than 90 events now. And I didn't mean to, but I don't want to see my country make a mistake. And I'm old enough to remember that when you make an important decision, never mind politics, about anything, when you're really mad, there's about an 80% chance you're going to make a mistake. And you will get the result you don't want. And every person in this audience who is old enough has made enough decisions when you were mad that you know I am telling you the truth. Isn't that right? Okay, so let's look at the game film. First of all, this election is a tale of dueling stories. The Republican story goes something like this. Hey, they had 21 months to get America out of the hole, the Democrats did, and they failed. They're not out of the hole. And in failing, they spent too much money and had too much government regulation, and we better stop them now before they just swallow the country up in government and debt. Isn't that about it? That's about their story. The Democrat story is, it's true that we didn't get you out of this hole in 21 months, but it was a very deep hole. And unlike our opponents, at least we stopped digging. And we do have plans that will not only get us out of the hole, but will put America back in the lead in the race for the 21st century, rebuild the middle class, give our children a brighter future. Give us 2 more years to prove it to you. You gave them 8 years to dig the hole. Give us half as much time, 4 years, to get out of it, and we will prove it. Now, it's true, you know, 2 years from now, you got a presidential election, all the House members up, a third of the Senate up. It's not like this is the last verdict here. How in the world, if you look at the game films, can the Republicans have this advantage? Because they are depending on your staying mad and not thinking, and most important of all, never looking at the game films. So just let's pretend for 10 minutes that we're making a decision in this race, and instead of something insignificant like a U.S. senator or a congressman, we're doing something really important. We're picking a new coaching staff for UCF. Okay? Now, we just hired a new staff 2 years ago, after the previous staff took us to several seasons where we were 2-9. And these guys are actually about to get hired again by saying you should fire our staff because we didn't win the national championship in our first year. We only went 6-5 or 7-4. Their argument is put the 2-9 coaching staff back in. This time we'll call the same plays we called before on steroids. Now you're laughing, but I'm telling you the truth, aren't I? How could this be? I'll tell you why. Because too many people say, I'm disappointed, I'm not going to vote. The estimates are, I'm coming back to this, that in 2008, when President Obama was elected, 58% of the registered voters voted, 60% of the registered African Americans voted, 45% of the registered voters 25 and under voted, and this time, the estimate is that in an off-year election, the overall vote will drop by 25%, but the African American vote will drop by 40%, and the youth vote will drop by 55%. Now, so when you see all these polls, you just remember that. 2008, the electorate was a portrait of tomorrow's America. 2010, they're banking it's going to be a portrait of yesterday's America. Too many old gray-haired white guys like me. And that we won't be looking at the game films. Now here's what really matters to your future. Where are we now? What should we do now? And who's going to do it? The rest of this is all background music. All this back and forth and yeah. All that really matters is, where are we now? What are we going to do? Who's going to do it? Where are we now? We have recovered 70% of our lost income. Wait. So what? How's the competition doing? Germany, 60%, Japan, 50%, the UK, 30%. Now, that's not a cause for applause, but it ought to give you pause before you put the other guys back in. We are doing better than the competition. The reason people don't feel better is all the new jobs are in the last 30% getting out of the hole, and then when we go on into the future. But that ought to give people pause before they say, oh, those guys did a terrible job. What are we going to do? We got to create jobs where the jobs are. Small business, green energy, bringing back manufacturing. That's where they are. So you got a clear choice here. Kendrick Meek has voted for every last bill, including the stimulus, that would put America back in the lead in the race for green energy. He has voted to give tax credits to small business and to manufacturing if they actually hire new people. He has voted to give loan guarantees and credits to banks to get them to loan to people again. His opponent, Senator Rubio, says that the only thing we really need to do is make permanent the tax cuts for millionaires. The rest of this is all smoke and mirrors. Now, I can tell you something. Wait. We're just looking at the game films here. Marco Rubio's position helps me more than Kendrick's does, because I'm in that income group now. And I can tell you something. The single most inefficient thing we could do with $600 billion over the next 10 years is make these temporary tax cuts to millionaires permanent. We will not spend all that money. I would rather give you the money to guarantee your college education, to bring back green jobs, to invest in the country. That is the right thing to do. And that's what the game film showed. You want more jobs? You don't have a choice. You got to vote for Kendrick Meek and Corinne Brown and Alan Grayson and Lori Edwards. They are on the right side of the jobs.